Thanks, Dick. Yo, what's up, everybody? Lummy Sports Show. Right before we go on vacation, we got the Filthy
Howdy, howdy.
and Brian is not here today, everybody.
You know, big surprise.
Big surprise. He had a pretty good record. He had a pretty good record of showing up.
Listen, I know it's been a long week for everybody, and we'll obviously open the show, talk about it a little bit more, but, you know, there was a football game played last weekend between the Philadelphia Eagles, the NFC champions, and the Kansas City Chiefs, the champions of the AFC.
Whoa, you're getting a little ahead of yourself there.
Well,
we have to explain. I mean, you know, this is a big time, you know, show here. Now,
I was just trying to draw some conclusions as to why Brian would not be here.
Well, that's what I was actually going to get to. And you know,
Yeah.
as professional as we are, you know, Rhett and I, who you can't see on the screen right now, but we do our prep, but we don't talk about what we're going to talk about on the show. But bro, why do you think he is not here? 813-90-BUBBA, 813-90-Bubba. Rhett's got a Miller Lite there ready to crack open. So what is your opinion on why Brian is not here while we have this Game of Thrones soundtrack, I guess, going on?
Yeah, I know. It's pretty intense. I just don't know if he wanted to show his face after that Eagles pick. You know, we both rode Philly. I don't know how.
I don't know if you know this, but you both picked it.
I know. And I'm here. I'm ready to face the music.
And there's only one person.
Wednesday. We're off the next 2 days.
Yeah, don't forget to check out the podcast and also the best ofs. We busted our ass on the best ofs, and I know Blitz has a ton of stuff that he will be putting up throughout the week and weekend. So check that out. I believe first drink of the day.
Yeah, you know, it's Wednesday. We're gonna get tore up on a Wednesday.
You're going to e-board later today?
I don't know what I'm gonna do later today.
I know. A lot of times I think you go to e-board. That's your drinking place, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna drink though. I think I might go ride my new bike. I bought a.
What do you got? What kind of bike you got?
It's a Trek Marlin 5.
Is that I'm guessing that's a mountain bike, correct?
Yeah, it's a Trek mountain bike.
What happened to the skateboard? You know, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the Filthy is a big time skateboarder. You wouldn't look at him and think that, but anytime that I've actually run into him downtown, he's a big time skateboarder. I would almost call him the redheaded Tony Hawk.
I mean, it's a little cruiser board. I don't do anything crazy.
I'm trying to talk you up here.
I know you're really trying to put me over, but I did my fair share of busting my ass in high school, and that hurt. So now I just kind of scoot around, and like skateboarding's fun when I want to go drink an e-board and then go to Riverwalk and then kind of dick around for a little bit. But
do you ever hit on chicks while you're down there?
No, I mind my own business, man. Like I usually will walk around in downtown sometimes, but it's not fun for covering long distances. Like if I wanted to go down Bayshore Boulevard because it's right there at the end of the Riverwalk, I could do it on a skateboard, but it's tough because the cracks in the sidewalk are pretty thick, and it's usually pretty windy right there too because you're right by the water, and then traffic is sketchy. It's a big wide sidewalk, but it was never my favorite. So,
Red, this is exciting. I mean,
yeah,
Brian's
I know,
not
really in-depth.
This is what my exciting part is that Brian's not here, and we got 2 phone calls right out of the gate here. 864.
Hey, this is Jamie Dunning out of Charleston. What's up, man?
What's up, Jamie Dunning?
Not a whole lot, man. I just tuned in, so I don't know if y'all talked about it or not. But now that Derek Carr got his release from the Raiders, you think Tampa Bay's going to take a shot at him?
Yeah, we were going to get out. We just started. Obviously, the Amazing Blummo show just got over. We just took over here. So we're just kind of getting the, why Brian's not here, what Rhett's doing on his skateboard. So, we're about to get into that now.
We're getting our feet wet, but we're going to go around the Bucs quarterback carousel.
I got you. Good deal. I'll hang up and listen.
All right, Jamie. Thank you, man.
Hey, y'all have a good one.
Let's clear the phone lines. Line 2, 863. Line 12.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. Oh, sorry, yeah, line 38, right. No, I'll make it quick, guys. It's track meet. Just want to let you know you're joining me on my trip on vacation. I'm in Colorado, rolling one up right now.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
And I didn't make much money on the final score of the game, but I bet like 3 of my buddies at work on the halftime who was leading at halftime, and I took the Eagles, and I won like $75 on halftime leading.
Nice. But if you were listening to last week's show where you heard the pro, Lummy, say the over, and actually, Brian, I think everyone agreed to take the over on that game, except if you wanted to win some real money on the money line or the spread, you would have listened to the degenerate gambler, and I picked that. So
I knew there'd be a lot of offense, but I also didn't think the pass rush would be as non-existent as it was. Did either team get a sack?
Yes, one sack for the Kansas City Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs to get over 2.5. I did lose on that one, so you could say that, but I didn't bet much on that one.
Well, if you were a smart man, you also probably dipped into the Kelsey anytime touchdown, and then made a little bit of money on the tails.
And also Kelsey getting over, I think it was 3 catches. I took the tails. So, but track me. Do you got anything else while you're in Colorado? Just loving life, living it up?
No, just BSing, man. Just I did a lot of the DraftKings stuff where you pick the players, but I bet like I put it this way: I had 31 lineups, but I only bet $20. So I was doing like 10-cent 25. I literally didn't win on that. My big win was the halftime deal, so I don't have nothing impressive for the overall score. I did know that Kansas City would probably win just because.
Of course.
Somebody said the script was already out. Now you read the script's already out.
Well, the script was out. It had the Eagles winning, so
it was Eagles 37, KC 34. So it ended up being KC 38-35.
But I guess the Chiefs didn't get that script because they won the game.
Well, I'll sit back and enjoy the show with no baby face, even though he's supposed to be there. He's
sick.
Like
listen, we didn't say it.
He's
got the sniffles. No, listen, he's got the sniffles. He's very sick right now. So our prayers go out to Babyface.
I'd be sick. Yeah, I'd be sick too. I mean, I did not put really any money onto the game. Just a couple of fun props, but
exactly.
I'll listen to the show. Y'all have a good one, man.
You too, Track Meet. Yeah, but do you do squares? Do you dive into any of that kind of stuff?
No, I wanted to get into squares this year, but it was too last minute. I just didn't even bother.
We got into 3 of them, and we won. We won at least one quarter, which actually covered all of our squares, which was nice.
What did what was
the payout for 1 quarter was $175.
Okay, not too bad.
Oh, look, I think it's someone that lost a bet to me. 4-4-30. And with the Monopoly money.
I miss you.
Hey,
buddy.
What's up there, Eagle fan?
How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Welcome to the sports show with Lummy and Rhett.
Hey. So
this is the number one midday Wednesday afternoon sports show in the world, right?
You got it, 100%. Dude. I mean, first one take.
You guys already had 3 or 4 calls.
One take, Willie. Yeah, we're hot out of the gate. Listen, I don't want to stomp on both of you guys here, but I got to ask you, man, how does it feel to be, receiving a shiny, brand new offensive coordinator in a fantastic Todd Monken? You son of a bitch! I wanted him in Tampa so bad.
I am very excited. There are so many mixed reviews going through Ravens Twitter and stuff. People are saying they hate him. People are saying they love it. I like it. Whether he gets to run the offense with Lamar at quarterback or not, I guess we'll find out. I really hope he does.
I don't think he
does.
Lamar is going to be throwing it twice a game. Twice as much a game if they let Monken do what he does best. Because he never really did have a strong run game, at least in Tampa. I don't know what his run game at Georgia looked like for the most part. They were a good team all around, but he was never known for his run game. So I have to assume that if he
neither have the Ravens
in the NFL, they each year he was an offensive coordinator, he had at least 1,000-yard receiver on his offense.
Oh yeah, he had 2 last couple of years, if I'm not mistaken. He always had a top 10 offense, but he was also usually running Dirk Cutter's offense, which was a lot of vertical passing. But that's kind of his bread and butter, is just as long as he's got a quarterback to stand in there and make those throws, you guys are going to move the fucking ball.
Yeah, they set team records, the total yards and passing yards that year with the great Ryan Fitzmagic, with followed up by Jameis Winston, but still.
That's what we've been asking for. So I'm happy. It just depends if Lamar's there or not.
I think so.
I saw some bullshit about getting Stetson Bennett as either late in the draft or undrafted free agent after the draft.
That's probably what will happen.
I really hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. What did you guys think about the Super Bowl?
I thought the Super Bowl was actually really, it was really fun to watch.
I'll be honest with you.
My bets were good.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. It was one of the more fun Super Bowls. I enjoyed it immensely. It was one of the better ones in recent memory, but damn that finish, man. I know
That's
that
what yeah.
Like,
It
I
was
know
one of
that
the best
everybody
Super
came
Bowls.
out and tried to bury it real quick and, oh, it was a hold. He admitted he held, and that's the end of it. But, like, God damn it, it still just felt like the refs kind of called game. And I didn't have any doubt in my mind that KC was going to march down the field and score, but, like, that just,
It would have been fun to see Philly try.
Yeah,
like,
they could have,
have the
they could
time.
have made a play. They could have been put in a position to make a play. I know
Right.
the defense was lacking. I don't think you were going to catch Pat Mahomes slipping right there, but just give him a fighting chance. It was such a good
Oh.
game.
Perked up and morphined up, Pat Mahomes was a different animal.
Did you see?
It was so high after the game.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you saw him in the post-game interview. For anyone not familiar, it was him and Travis Kelce were standing there talking to, I don't know if it was Aaron Andrews or someone else, but I mean, dude, he was high as a moosey poos.
Yeah, but he was he was composed. Unlike Travis Kelce, he was composed. Travis Kelce did drop a couple bombs.
That's because Mahomes couldn't talk. That's why he was composed.
Listen, you know what? He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he kept himself composed. All I know is, like, go Chiefs, go.
I guess so. Yeah, you got even on me.
I got even on you with all our Monopoly money, and I also won nice bets from the Vegas crowd. So thank you very much. Go Chiefs. No one listened to me. Everyone in chat is a Eagles fan.
I'll admit it.
My bet of the game was Eagles over 26.5. That was the biggest bet I placed.
50 Monopoly money.
No, it was a little bit more than that.
100? 200?
What?
What was it?
It was 250 on Barstool.
Oh, nice. You probably that was probably, what'd you win, like 325, 330?
Paid out? No, I think it was it was close to even odds. It was like minus.
Oh, was it?
110
Okay.
or
I wasn't
something.
sure if it was a plus like 140, 50, 60, whatever. That's not bad though.
No, yeah. So it was a good Super Bowl.
But yeah, just listen. Just say goodbye to Lamar Jackson. He's not going to be there next year. Maybe you guys will go after Derek Carr, even though I think he's going to New Orleans. And good luck. You guys actually might be better with Minshew. Isn't that his name? Right, that Brian loves Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew. I don't know. I mean, I have to imagine that if you're the Eagles, you're not going to. Well, he's a free agent, so he can do whatever the hell he wants. I guess it doesn't matter. I would love to see Minshew in a Buccaneers uniform, though. That's been probably the worst kept secret on this show.
Is Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets?
Well, right now he's in a 4-day isolation.
No,
starts
he doesn't
today.
start. No, it starts Saturday is when he goes in the tank. So I feel like by next Friday, maybe a week from today, we should have something.
He's going to come out of the
love of
dark
God.
tunnel that he was in, and he's going to say, I'm going to party in Vegas and play golf year-round, unlike in Green Bay.
I definitely think he ends up in Vegas. I don't think he ends up in New York.
I don't either, because he likes golf and he wants to be on the West Coast.
I don't
I've been
think he
saying
ends
this
up in-
now, I believe, for 3-4 weeks.
Well, let's play with Devontae Adams,
Yeah,
man.
3-4
that would
weeks.
be that would be a lot of fun. I mean, that's way more of a selling point than Hackett up in New York. And again, nobody wants to play for the Jets. Nobody wants to fucking play for the Jets. The Packers and their love of shipping these guys off to the Jets.
Yeah, him and Brett
But
Favre.
like it's cold up there. The media sucks. It's not known for being a good team. It's not necessarily a team he could take very far. He knows he's only got a couple more seasons. Why the fuck would he want to go play for the Jets?
Yeah, go to Vegas, gamble, and
I think if
play
he
golf.
if he goes anywhere, I think it'll be Vegas. But I honestly, my gut says he still sticks around, restructures, and gives it another go in Packerville.
Unfortunately, you
I
will be
don't
wrong.
see that happening.
Oh,
Me
But
neither. Just like
I don't
Lamar
know.
and
I'll let you guys go.
Philly.
Have a good show.
Thank you too, man. Look at this, 239. Right, we're just getting blown up here. We never get this many calls with Brian. Maybe no one wants to talk to Brian. What's up, 239? My favorite caller of all time. 239, my favorite
That's
caller
what
of all time.
239 thinks of you, buddy.
I guess so. Well, that sucks. Yeah, no, I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers goes. I was surprised to see. Well, I wasn't actually surprised.
You
to
do
see
think he
Derek Carr.
goes?
I think he goes. I've been saying this for 3-4 weeks now. I think he goes to the Raiders. I think they give him a huge. I think they rework his contract, but I think it's a sense of like backside money, and incentives. Raiders have got to put on. They got to be on the top of that division, even though it's going to be tough.
So last we had heard the Raiders didn't even have the money to fire Josh McDaniels. So what?
They freed up the car.
That is true.
So I think that was
but they had
$40
to eat
million.
some of that, right?
Yeah, but I think that it cleared up about $40 million. So even if they had to eat 10, and I think they were. You don't think a couple of those guys on the Raiders would actually kind of rework their contract?
If they knew they were going to be getting an Aaron Rodgers, I can imagine Devontae Adams first and foremost would rework his contract.
100%
maybe a couple of other offensive playmakers. I don't know who they have on a long-term deal and who they don't. I know they recently paid Hunter Renfrow like year before last, I think. 2021 offseason or something like that. I don't know what his deal looks like if he's even on one, but I thought they had him locked up.
We're going to be a call. Man, we got phone lines are blown up now.
Let's do it, man. Everybody ready to talk some football?
I don't even know what line this is. 641. We got a phone full. What's up, Brandon?
Oh, let's go.
Phone banks are packed, Brad.
I was just wondering if you guys are ready for the XFL this weekend.
You're fucking right. I'm ready for the XFL this weekend, Brandon.
Right. What was your team that you picked again?
I'm gonna go ahead and roll with Orlando.
Oh, that's right. Orlando.
You know what I mean? It's access to the games if I ever want to go and fuck off some weekend. I hate Orlando. I hate the Citrus Bowl, but I'll go watch my Orlando Guardians.
Well, especially if we get media passes. We all love Orlando, but I believe I picked the Houston Roughnecks, right? No, the Brahmas. San Antonio. San Antonio.
You
Brahmas.
did pick the Brahmas because you like
Brahmas.
that. Yeah, you like that tattoo.
I like that logo.
On the rock.
I didn't say that. I like the
That's
logo.
That's what you said. You said you like his tattoo. On his
but
big
yeah,
muscles.
the San Antonio Brahmas. Who do you got, Brandon?
Oh well, I got because of close proximity to where I live. I got the Battlehawks from St. Louis.
Are you excited to get the Barnstormers back?
Well, we already have
What the fuck are the Barnstormers?
In the
AFL.
in the Arena League.
They're coming back.
They haven't confirmed the teams for the new AFL yet.
No, but I mean, come on. The Iowa Barnstormers are like, there's nothing else to do in Iowa besides go to wrestling events and watch XFL football. So why wouldn't they bring back the AFL?
Yeah, it seems like AFL's more on brand than the XFL at this point.
Exactly.
But the rules of the XFL is going to be awesome.
What's the different rules, Brandon? Can you explain it to us so you can let everyone know that's listening today what the rules will be?
Is it the same blueprint as they had last time?
It's 35-second play clock. There's no extra points. It's all 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point conversions.
And there's 3 overtimes.
Yeah, like a shootout style.
Like
teams will. Whoa, okay.
Like a shootout style.
Well, hold on. There's extra points, but it's if you go from the 2-yard line, it's 1 point. 5-yard line is 2 points, and the 10-yard line is 3 points.
But I said no kicking though.
Clock will stop following first downs as well. So let's say a team is driving at the end of the game. 45 seconds left. If you keep getting first down conversions, you can turn that into a minute 5.
It's similar to college, except after the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, and then in the fourth quarter, you can go for it on 4th down at the 20. The onside kick's gonna be a play from a 15-yard play from the 25.
Let's see, 3 timeouts per half. Okay, kickoffs. So teams will begin play 5 yards apart. Kicking team at opponent's 35-yard line and return team at own 30-yard line. Okay, so they actually are bringing back the. So they're bringing back the actual old kind of kickoff where they're actually going to let the special teams play.
And if you get a touchback, that the kicking team gets a penalty and starts at the 35.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm looking at that too. And then the teams will have 2 options to keep the ball after scoring, traditional onside, anytime during the game, or 4th and 15 conversion from own 25-yard line, 4th quarter only. Oh, okay, so when they score in the 4th quarter, they have the option after they score that instead of kicking off, they can keep the ball and go for it on 4th and 15 from their own 25. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be and with a 9-point swing, there's gonna be a lot of different scores, I think.
Hey, let me ask you too, are you going to be watching the USFL at all? I don't know if that's going to coincide with the XFL, if we're going to have any schedule conflicts.
You didn't see the
down
commercials on Fox? I mean, come
down the
on.
line. I mean, yeah, I see them every fucking week.
Well, we're gonna watch this one for about 6 weeks to see which one has better product on the field.
You know, there's a lot more names that I recognize in the XFL.
Yeah, but listen, Brandon has to keep up with his thing here. I mean, look, he April 15th it starts for the USFL. He's got to do double duty, Rhett.
So if XFL starts this weekend?
Yes, we talked about that last weekend.
Holy shit.
You pothead.
So, listen, buddy, it's Friday.
Starts
when does it run till?
April 29th is the semifinals. April 23rd is the last week, week 10 for the XFL, and the USFL it starts April 15th.
Man, you are reluctant to put it over. Is that because they took away the Tampa Bay Bandits?
Oh no, I just want Brandon to do double work. I want him to be able to report and keep year-round work going, especially when the arena pie comes back. And when the USFL ends in May or June, then arena can maybe go June, July, and then we roll into the NFL.
So when the New England Patriots of the AFL come back in the Tampa Bay Storm, are we going to make a real effort to go to some games? That could be a lot of fun. Dude, we should hook up a Bubba Army night at Storm games.
Yeah, and maybe you could take you could be the third leg Greg of the Tampa Bay Storm.
There we go. It'd be a sweet gig. Wouldn't be able to show up like this, but it would be fun.
Then you can get handicapped seats and take the wheelchair because I'm sure the handicap.
Hold on, yeah,
dude,
Brandon.
of course I'll hook you up.
We could put Rhett on the field with his microphone because he's going to be the announcer for the XFL game. You put him right in the middle.
Awesome.
Oh, 100%.
Awesome.
I heard you were on TV. Shivering Business Era says Hall of Famer Kenny Priz sent me a text and said that you were on TV during that Iowa-Michigan game.
Yeah, I almost got ran over by one of the wrestlers coming back from the bathroom.
Were you in the way?
Yeah, could I come down the same tunnel that they run into and come out of, and he just won in overtime, and he was so excited he almost ran me over. I tried to high five him, but he just
it's the Cobra 5. It's the Cobra 5. You could
the Cobra 5.
Kill you.
And then you give that little hit.
Yeah.
You should do a little hiss too, and they Cobra 5 you.
Yeah, but he ran so fast he almost took the Cobra off because it almost tore my shoulder out of the socket.
Are you okay though?
Yeah. Well, good thing I don't use that arm, but I'm okay.
Well, I mean, did you record yourself being on TV? Did you put yourself over too? You show the OnlyFans, and then you show you being on ESPN.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna be on the Big Ten Network on Sunday, Oklahoma State versus Iowa.
Let's go.
Well, I can't wait to see you on the Big Ten Network. Big 12 Network?
Big Ten.
Big Ten Network. Check Brandon out. It's going to be on there.
It'll be 4:30 Eastern.
All right. Well, I will make sure. I don't have the Big Ten Network, Brandon, so I can't check it out. But I will look for highlights from you because I'm sure that you're going to DVR it.
I got YouTube TV with the sports included, so I will for sure be checking out the fucking Big Ten Network for you.
Look for the Cobra, everybody.
I'll be looking for you.
Yep. All right, guys. You guys are doing great. Have a good weekend.
You too, man. 239, my favorite caller's back.
Hey, sorry about that. That was on my end. Hey, I appreciate it, Lummy and Filthy. Hey, I just want to make a comment. The field conditions, I don't know if you talked about it.
Yeah.
It's just absurd. I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar, with capital B. They're putting a product out there that was ridiculous. And it happened in the 49ers game as well. That field was slick. You think it was by design to create more?
No. Sorry, Ray, you go for it.
Well, no, I wanted to say, they talked a lot this year coming into the year, about these new fields and how they want to implement all this new technology and all this bullshit. And like you said, they're putting this product out, and especially on an international stage, when the Bucs played Seattle in Germany, that field was deadly. It was, just as bad as the Super Bowl. It was terrible. You have more and more players speak up this year than ever about the field conditions. But the worst part is that the Super Bowl field in particular, Lummy, you guys had mentioned it this morning on the show. Not only did the NFL pay $800,000
for a 2-year preparation.
2 years, not just 1 year, but 2 fucking years for some of the worst field conditions in the championship game we have ever seen. And in the same week,
and the crazy thing,
the same week, we've also got Commissioner Goodell talking about NFL officiating having never been better in the history of the sport as we see it deciding the Super Bowl.
Well,
I'm not happy with the NFL this week. Sorry.
The crazy thing about the Arizona, too, is that they didn't make the playoffs. So when did they actually try to put this turf or grass, you could say, onto that little, assembly belt to get, planted in? Because they had, 4 or 5 weeks to transplant it?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like, when did they actually, transport it?
You had one player actually say the worst conditions he's ever played on, and
the NFL called it the best turf ever grown.
That's right. That's
more important than that is it can cause an injury as the kicker and that ridiculous. Or the announcer even has to make a comment. Well, he's on the paint, so you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, Greg Olson made that one. He said, "Oh yeah, I've seen a couple guys not trying to jinx them, but you're on the paint. You never know what can happen." Let's see.
Yeah.
It was installed 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. And the field had been rolled out each morning for daily sunshine. Total cost equals $800,000. So they only installed it 2 weeks before. The grass sits on a 40-inch deep tray that measures 234 feet wide and 403 feet long and travels 740 feet when it goes inside and outside. And you know what, right? You make a good point. That Seattle Bucks game, I believe that stadium is on the same exact thing that Arizona has where they're able to roll it in and out.
And another funny tidbit here from Mario Gonzalez in the chat. Did you know about the Sod father, that 96-year-old guy who worked his last Super Bowl this year?
Yes, they covered him. I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, he revealed the $800,000 cost of this year's turf and said it's been growing for the last 18 months. He confidently declared it was the, quote, second best grass the Super Bowl has ever had.
George Toma, right?
Yeah.
The real Super Bowl MVP as the NFL puts over that turf. He has prepared fields for 37 Pro Bowls, several World Series, and every single Super Bowl in history. His nickname's the Sod Father. He's 94 years old. All right, listen, the guy's
fucking
a stud.
Sod father.
The guy's an absolute fucking stud.
You think he's selling those T-shirts? He's selling those.
He is selling those T-shirts,
and he's gonna get a fucking cease and desist from the NFL.
94 years old. I think it's time for him to retire after this Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, God, if he's responsible for this field, then
enjoy it. Bye.
Hey man, see you later. Thank you 239. Have a great weekend. Well, great week. That's best of the week, but for us, the weekend. No, I mean that turf was awful. The NFL coming out and saying that it was the best turf they've ever had. They literally grew it for 18 months.
Pretty much the best ever.
I mean look at this. Look at this, Red. I know people can't see it, unfortunately, but if you go on a Twitter and you just type it in, look at it. I mean, it looks really. Look at that.
And what is this? What is this Joe Schmo reporter saying about it? Nope, that's not heaven. That's the Super Bowl field.
Shout out to whatever. He is the general manager of the turf farm. And yeah, they're showing us rolling it up. The 2 inches of turf still on when they were rolling it up. Wow. Well, I don't think the players really feel the same way. And I wonder if that's, Red, like I said, you made a good point in the Europe thing. I wonder if that, with them replacing the turf so much. I remember back before USF started playing at the Buck Stadium and how the Raymond James and even before that, the Sombrero was always in the top 5 for best turfs because it was in the Florida sun. They watered it, and then when USF started playing, everybody started saying that Tampa had it was good, but it wasn't great. It slipped to I think it was like the top 20 on turfs.
Well, and I know it's been around for a lot of years, so there's a lot more room for it to happen. But it's had its fair share of shitty games. Like recent memory, I think it was the last game of the season, 2020, when Mike Evans messed up his ankle.
Yeah, by the end zone,
in the end zone.
Yeah.
It was like a couple of times during the first quarter. Mike Evans had slipped and fell. A couple of other guys.
One looked like a knee injury on one of his slips.
Yeah,
I was at that game.
And that was when he had broke He literally got like 1,007 yards that season. He barely broke the record, and then they tried to get him for a touchdown in the end zone.
And I believe it was after a USF Saturday game.
I think it was after the. It wasn't.
Was it a bowl game?
It wasn't the national.
I
remember when the national championship
it was the Outback Bowl.
But it was the Outback Bowl, and I remember that Outback Bowl in particular, they complained about the field. But when the national championship was here, didn't they also complain about the field? And there was a Bucs game played that same week. And the field
I think it was on
shitty?
Sunday, and I think the national championship game was on a Monday.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, before, and you can see if you go to a Bucs game, which I'm sure this is like every other stadium, but when you walk out the carousel or, wherever you leave, if you go out the north side, you see all the grass that's dug up. They throw it away. They put new stuff in. And I wonder how many times a season they replace that turf. Do you know? I know they replace, when they do the logos and stuff.
You're talking about like the average stadium?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same turf all year.
No, I mean, if you go, they always, like after USF games, they rip up the part of the 50. They rip up where any logos are, then they put new turf down. They usually rip up some of the end zone too.
I have no idea. I don't know if it's new turf every week or if it's maybe a rotation they got. They keep them in a fucking factory somewhere. Honestly, I never thought I would spend this much time on a goddamn sports show breaking down the science of NFL turf.
Well, listen, it was a big thing.
Getting tore up on a Wednesday.
Listen, maybe the Eagle guy wouldn't have grabbed the guy's jersey if the turf was a little bit better. Maybe he couldn't get his footing down, Rhett.
Sure. Maybe.
Because I know that's a big thing for you.
So are you telling me the Sod Father altered NFL history forever, and we could be living in the reality, in a perfect world, where the field is immaculate, and that Eagles player doesn't have to slip and fall and maybe commit a holding penalty and ruin the Super Bowl for everyone watching?
Correct. And I'm going to buy you I'm going to look up a Sod Father shirt right now.
Oh, there it is on every fucking...
22 bucks, right? I think...
but click on it, though. Can you open it up? Because it
does not have the...
doesn't look like the NFL logo.
Wow.
I would like to see what it is.
Well, do you think he has his own website, though?
Oh, it's like a lawnmower. Yeah. These are all just,
These are jobber ones?
Yeah. These are like the bot-made T-shirts.
I mean, is there an official Sod Father shirt? Oh, there it is.
Is it really?
It has the NFL logo on it.
I don't know. I think
if anyone's listening that wants to get Rhett a great Christmas gift for all the loved ones in his life.
That's another jobber website.
Oh, it has the NFL logo on it.
Give me some Sod Father merchandise.
Yes, because obviously this guy retiring, he's kind of like the big fan here in Tampa Bay, which we forgot to bring up for Brian. Hopefully Brian gets over his cold.
He's pretty much the best ever.
Hopefully he gets over his cold next week and we talk to him because, Brett, you know Brian loves super fans. He loves jerseys. He loves super fans. He loves everything.
Oh, yeah. He loves, super fans in particular.
And we forgot to get his take on him retiring. Now, did you see that commercial? I don't know.
Who is him?
Did you see the commercial?
Who retired? Who is him?
Big Nasty.
Oh, get Brian's take on Big Nasty retiring is what you meant. Sorry, I was trying to put together the word salad there.
Sorry. Yeah, I know.
No, you're good,
Big
buddy.
Nasty.
You talking about the Rihanna one where they showed it during the Super Bowl and he got to sing his Big Red Heart out.
All the super fans that were on there.
Yeah, but him in particular, you could. I don't know if you could play the audio.
Probably not.
Get us a copy,
yeah. I mean, come on.
You could probably play just the first few seconds of it.
What the hell? It's NFL super fans.
So go to YouTube. Yeah.
Super
NFL,
fans.
I mean, you could just type in NFL Super. Apple Music.
Super Bowl. I don't know if anyone knows what we're talking about. There's this guy, Big Nasty, but there's also, if every NFL team has these big super fans.
That's it right there.
Is it right here?
No.
This one?
Go to videos right there, that little tab.
Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, there you go.
No.
Well, I know, but look at him.
No.
I can see him. I can see him on that thumbnail.
So go to youtube.com. Make this easy for both of us here.
Thank you, Rhett. I appreciate it.
I just need people to experience. I need people to be familiar with what we're talking about.
Yeah, so you can go watch it with the Big Nasty, who used to be a manager at the Gold's Gym, which I don't think he is.
Type in
NFL super fans.
NFL super fans. Apple Music.
Super Bowl.
There you go.
It's so weird typing on this keyboard. It's so small.
There it is. That one right there. That first
Stay?
one. Yeah.
Okay, everyone. So what we're talking about is the stay that's
the first
performed.
5 seconds of it.
All right.
Oh, you can't hear it. Do you have it potted up?
No, not yet, because I'm looking to make sure he's
in like the free. Yeah, he's literally, and then once you can stop.
But yeah,
he's literally in the once.
Versus...
Sorry. Why did I just hear Brian? Did you get off the mic? What are you doing?
I turned off my mic.
Oh, I'm trying to look. Where's it? Where's it? Oh, is it? Oh, no, that's paused.
Oh,
now
no.
I feel like
oh,
Bubba
Jesus.
right now.
Now I feel like Bubba.
I don't know what's
Little
going on
fucking
here.
vortex
I got
here.
a vortex going on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm going to restart this here. And then they would do the 80s. You know, okay. What did that stop? Like in the late 80s? What the hell's going on here?
It's got to be an old show.
Where is this coming from?
What the fuck?
Oh, here it is.
This is coming apart quick.
This is from the 2823 show.
This.
All right. Now let's try it again. This keyboard. Look
You
at
can
this
just
keyboard.
play it right from where
Look
it's
at this keyboard.
I can't see it.
I'm showing it.
Was all stuff.
It's look at me.
It's too tiny for you.
Hold on.
You fucking
if
monster
I
of a
did
man.
if I did my fingers correctly, this is how it is right here. this is how I have to sit. Okay, here we go. One beer, the whole thing falls apart. Nice eat more coastline. Here we go. I'm gonna start and stop so we don't get a copyright.
Nothing's falling apart. I just need Lummy to play one YouTube video. That's it.
Shh. We don't want to get a copyright.
All along it was a fever.
They let him. That's it.
Okay, that's it. So
he came back at another point. But
Yeah,
they
well.
put this guy in a Super Bowl commercial.
he's in the Hall of Fame 2 times.
He's a 2-time Hall of Famer.
I'm gonna have
I mean,
to.
I cannot discriminate because again,
You wish you were a super fan like that?
sure.
Honestly, Red.
Sure,
Seriously.
if I'm getting twice in the Hall of Fame, if I'm getting free tickets to the Super Bowl, and I'm getting all this special access because I fucking paint my face, then yeah. Because that seems like not the worst way to spend my Sunday during football season, because I like football enough during football season where I shell out my hard-earned money
Yeah, but you
to
can't
go
enjoy
get drunk in the
yourself.
parking lot before the game, and I go out there and have a good time. But if I knew I was going to be getting perks such as double entry to the Hall of Fame. I mean, this guy, the final year that it was Brian Baldinger doing the Hall of Fame deal, right? No, it was, what's the other guy's name? The big guy, big dude. He used to do the knock.
I have no idea what you're talking
You know
about.
who I'm talking about.
The knock? What do you mean the knock?
He was like the NFL Hall of Fame representative. He was
Oh,
at-
the big guy.
he retired last year.
Yeah, the big guy.
Yeah,
the
like-
guy that sweat as much as I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Anyways,
yeah.
I mean, if I knew that all the pomp and circumstance of being, a prestigious super fan was what awaited me, then
David
100%.
Baker.
David motherfucking Baker. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So he brought him in.
Well, he did. He knocked on the door and let him know he was going to go back to the Hall of Fame,
Oh my God, that's
and that was the last year before he retired. So Big Nasty very well could have been the final door he knocked on in his illustrious 52-year NFL career.
Now you have a picture with him, correct?
David Baker. Big
no,
Nasty.
Big Nasty.
Yes.
Now, how did you go about meeting him?
It was just at a tailgate. He rolled up. We got a big group.
Oh,
picture.
he rolled up? Like
Yeah,
he rolled
it
up
was-
to your random tailgate and was
Well,
like,
it
"Yo,
wasn't like
Big
a friend.
Nasty!
It was-
Taking pictures with me, boys." Is that how it happened?
Yeah, he came up.
You on the back of your Nissan Frontier, drinking a couple Miller Lights,
Yeah, dude,
and this
he started
guy with
drinking.
painted face with a jersey on and a fucking
He started
rhino.
stealing all
horn.
my shit.
He goes,
He
Yo,
started
boy, the Big
drinking.
Nasty, bring me some Miller Lights, yeah. Fucking show like Macho Man over here.
No, not quite. It was
You put him over.
Yeah. No, he fucking it was one of the it was the What the Buck tailgate.
Oh,
And he had come in and yeah, we took a big group picture or whatever. 'Cause I took a picture with him when I was like a little ass kid.
yeah, but
I was
you,
like 10 years old.
If you were 21, you would take a picture with him, Brad.
What?
You would take a picture with him at the age of
Dude,
21.
he's my hero. What do you mean?
I
I just
really-
told you everything I want to be as a super fan. If I can get in the
You
NFL
don't-
Hall of Fame by not playing a single down of football, then fucking immortalize me immediately.
You know he is a ginger.
Yeah, he is a natural redhead.
So what about if you were almost little
Oh, it's
nasty?
Little Nasty is his brother who fucking died tragically.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, so don't mention that, you asshole.
Little Nasty. I'm sorry, I don't know the family of fucking super fan. You could be Little Nasty Junior then.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Oh, okay. Well, then you could be just
Could
nasty.
be filthy nasty.
Yeah, you could be.
I could be big filthy.
Big filthy. You could be the big
I'll
filthy
be
and take
big
his job.
filthy,
You
dude.
still have your Warren Sapp
Big buck,
jersey.
big buck filthy.
Yeah, there you go. Why
Let's
not?
go, man. Yeah, I'll be big filthy.
So, yeah, I mean, now we're talking about the Buccaneers. 813-90-BUBBA, 813-90-BUBBA, just so everyone knows that Brian is not here. He has the sniffles. He has the cold that I guess So
You got a bellyache.
and also that him and Rhett the Filthy picked the Eagles. I'm the one that picked the Chiefs, and
my heart was with Kansas City, but
you
going
didn't want
into that game,
you didn't want to follow me. You thought
going
Brian
into
was
that
better.
game. I mean, it's like it's like the perfect script to a movie. You really couldn't have scripted it any better. Everybody was picking against the Chiefs, and as soon as I was watching the fucking Fox pregame, and they went down the line, and Terry Bradshaw, Kurt Menefee, Howie Long, Michael Strahan, the short bald guy, Jake Laser. As soon as they all picked
bald guy.
As soon as they all picked Philly, I knew it was a wrap. I knew deep down
When it was a clean sweep.
Yeah, they even said it. Terry Bradshaw was the last son of a bitch to make his pick, and he's like, I don't want to do it. And he's like, I almost want to change my pick because of it, but I'm gonna go with Philly, even though I know it's gonna come back and bite every single one of us. And sure enough,
it did, and I was so happy.
What's
When
that?
I saw
What's that link you dropped in the chat there?
That's someone wanted to see what Big Nasty looked like.
Mm.
So I just put it in there since we can't show it. Our budget on the sports show isn't that big. I mean, we can't even
Who's that
afford
other guy on the Who's that other guy on the left?
This guy?
Yeah.
It's Big Nasty IE. And it says, don't fuck up the bass.
Don't fuck up the bass.
On his shirt. But let's just take this for 813 phone call here. 813.
Rat, Lummy, White Iced Tea. How y'all doing?
No, this is the next White Ice Tea's the next super fan for the Bucks. He can take
fuck yeah,
Big Nasty's place.
Well, my son would probably, take that over. He's the one that goes all decked out, cheering on. I just go for him to have a good time. But how come I don't hear Baker Mayfield get mentioned as far as possibly becoming the next Bucks quarterback?
Well, I think, in my opinion, I think the LA wants to keep Baker Mayfield. Maybe I could be totally wrong.
I mean, I know they're bringing back Matthew Stafford. He wants to come back for another season because McVay's coming back. And I know Baker Mayfield doesn't want to be a backup. He actually wants to start in NFL.
Yeah, and he looked all right. He looked all right with the Rams. They didn't have much talent around him because a lot of them were hurt. And I
like the swag. I think we could use some of that swag.
Well, don't forget Gardner Minshew, though, too, has swag.
He's got baby swag. I want big man swag.
You want some All-State swag? Is it All-State?
No HO. Anyways,
Was it right?
What about Jameis? We're not bringing Jameis back?
Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, that ship has sailed, my friend. As much as some people would like to see Jay Boo back in a...
Who?
Man, Jay Boo put up numbers, though, man.
Bro, he did put up numbers.
Josh Freeman put up numbers. Let's bring him back.
He put up good and bad numbers. As much as people may or may not like him anymore, he is going to be in the history books for Tampa Bay for a very long time, up there with the likes of Tom Brady and...
what's his name?
I'm
sorry, what's his name?
Trent Dilfer.
No, dick fuck. Jameis Winston beat Josh Freeman's records.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And by the way, Baker Mayfield, I clicked in Baker Mayfield, and unfortunately, Bing is not on this. It's Google. It says Saints, and Ravens.
And there's no chance we can get Derek Carr.
Well, I wouldn't say there's zero chance, but I would say that there is less of a chance with the Bucks having to take that $35 million cap hit from Brady this year. It's going to change up their plans at the quarterback position. But as far as like Baker Mayfield and any one of these other veteran, free agent quarterbacks are going to go, that's the route Tampa's going to pick at this rate. It's going to depend on an offensive coordinator. Like, we're going to start hearing more and more names of, the Bucks are interested in this guy once they actually finally hire an offensive coordinator, which has honestly got me worried because they've interviewed 11 or 12 guys, and 2 of them have turned them down. Todd Monken and Dan Pitcher.
Todd Monken didn't want to come back.
Todd Monken and Dan Pitcher both turned down the Bucks job when they were offered it.
And we're all agreeing that Kyle Trask is not the answer.
I 100% agree with you on that.
I mean, I think the longer this offseason goes, we're going to get a feeling of how the Bucks, front office and the coaching staff feels about their expectations. Like, regardless, this is going to be a year where they got to pay for the Super Bowl, they got to pay for going all in, and they got to take it on the chin, man.
We got a ring out of it. We'll take it.
You know what I mean? We did get a ring out of it. Not a lot of teams can say that, so Other teams are paying for it this year. Bucks are going to be paying for it next year.
The last time we won a Super Bowl for that
I-
was 20 years ago. So
I went to the Super Bowl. I purchased my ticket the day of, only because they wouldn't let my brother purchase a single ticket because it was the COVID season and you had to buy like 2 tickets because they were splitting up seats.
yeah,
I got to sit next to a cardboard cutout of a girl who was wearing Cleveland Browns gear.
Damn,
we got
bro, you
a
should've-
general. We got a general here.
You know,
Dr. Dan
and-
sat by.
And I just maybe about a month ago in the mail finally got like my ticket that they send you in like a glass case, you know.
like the commemorative deal.
Yeah, and I got it like a month ago, 2 Super Bowls later.
Was the
But
was the
whatever.
Cleveland cutout hot? Was she showing any cleavage?
Dude, she was like 10 years old, bro.
Oh,
This is a little girl. But my
Jeez,
brother,
right?
I don't know if you guys were at the Super Bowl. Did you guys
No,
know about
Dr.
the
Dan
little-
was. I wish I could have went, but during the COVID years, it was a little
Dude,
tough.
I really didn't want to go because of the price of the tickets, but it was day of, and I figured, screw it, man. And I tell you what, it was worth it because we won, but had we lost, that would have been $7,500 down the drain.
But we
Damn.
won, so fuck it, right?
Fuck
And not
it, bro,
only-
we won.
not only did they win, bro, they
We
fucking
won
whooped
at
ass.
home,
Like when I was
bro.
watching,
They didn't score a touchdown, bro.
they that's
scored a touchdown.
that was my thought the entire time I was watching the Super Bowl, Philly and KC. I'm like, man, you know, as high scoring as this game is about to be, the Bucks went out there and
tweeting that.
fucking held these jobbers to no touchdowns.
Dude, 3 field goals, 31-9. We'll holler.
31.
Anyways, hey, y'all take care, man.
Have a good one, White Ice Tea.
Man, I'll tell you, a motherfucker who's getting tore up on a Wednesday, that's white iced tea.
He always does. He's the man. That's why he's the man. Hey, I was reading this thing. I was just looking at the free agency on quarterbacks. You know, you got Lamar Jackson, yada, yada, yada. Derek Carr, obviously the Saints are interested on him. Baker Mayfield has said the Saints are interested along with the Ravens. And then I come down to this, and I'm not a fan of it, but they have obviously Jimmy G. And then you got Sam Darnold, who Todd Bowles drafted when he was a coach of the Jets
Absolutely
in 18.
There is absolutely
Darnold saw a
nope.
bit of resurgence with the Carolina Panthers as a starter. As for the final 6 games, he went 4-2 and threw for 1,100 passing yards and 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And he did not really have much wide receiver help in Carolina. He is an unrestricted free agent. What do you think about the Bucs bringing in Sam Darnold?
My initial reaction is absolutely not, and the more that I think about it, the more I want to say absolutely not. We saw every reason in Carolina why he cannot be a long-term starting quarterback in the NFL. You know, he had a little run, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks, and 1,100 something yards
In 6 games.
Okay, sure. I mean, what is that? 1.5 touchdowns a game?
Yeah, but I mean, it's the Panthers, though.
It is the Panthers,
And
and
he
this is
didn't
the
have
Bucs,
Mike Evans
and this
and
is the
Chris
Bucs who are
Godwin.
bringing in a new offensive coordinator who are obviously going to want to be more productive than they were last year. Like if you bring in a guy like Sam Darnold, and I also kind of feel this way about Jimmy Garoppolo, it's obviously going to depend on the offensive coordinator in question, but I just think if you bring in a guy like Darnold or Jimmy Garoppolo, it's going to be a lot more of the same of what we saw last year. There's just not, unless they hit a home run in the draft or they trade for somebody we do not see coming, I just don't think this team has the talent at the running back position to, support a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo or someone who could potentially lose you fucking games the more they throw the ball, like Sam Darnold, because he's just not good. He's not good. The guy's seeing ghosts.
Well, I mean, look, with their running back situation, obviously, you don't think Fournette is the guy, which I think they're going to cut him. Is there any free agent running backs out there that, most teams will try to pick up an old veteran? Is there anyone out there that you wouldn't mind seeing the Bucs get? Or
I'd have to see a list. I don't know if you can pull that up, a list of free agent NFL running backs, because I'm not 100% sure who is going to be available for the picking.
Yeah, let me get my
I
arms
think
up
back
here.
to names like Buccaneers legend
Eric Wright.
Le'Veon Bell.
Oh. In 2023 NFL
Free
running
agent,
back
running
free.
back.
It's a little tough here.
That's
Sorry.
okay. Do your thing.
There we go.
Words are hard, buddy.
I didn't. Can you see me typing? You dick.
Rashad Penny wouldn't be a bad option, but I'm sure he's going to be,
So Saquon Barkley, Kareem Hunt, Rashad Penny.
Rashad Penny was someone that I liked for the Bucks when he was coming out of the draft, to be honest with you. I like him. And what is his average? Like $3 million a year?
No, 5.75. Jamal Williams is 3. Josh Jacobs, who will probably get more than what he's averaged, was 2.9.
Yeah, he'll get way fucking.
Mark Ingram, go fuck yourself. Rex Burkhead, Raheem Mostert, Foreman, Boone, Scott.
Raheem Mostert, Moisture, whatever his fucking name is. Raheem couldn't be a bad option. You know, guys like Rex Burkhead are obviously going to be in the conversation if Tom Brady was still the quarterback, but he's washed up.
If Brian was here, he definitely would go with Marlon Mack.
Yeah, I mean, USF guy, honestly, there's always a narrative for USF guys coming back to play for Tampa because I feel like when you're looking for cheap options, some of those hometown guys are going to take less pay to go play.
Don't forget Tony Pollard.
Yeah, Tony Pollard, another free agent.
But you know he's going to get a payday.
Someone's going to pay him, and I don't think it's going to be the Bucks who are looking to offload at the running back position. If anything, if they cut Leonard Fournette, which is still an option, I could maybe see them signing one of these guys, but I don't know. Tony Pollard would be really cool to see Tony Pollard and like Rachaad White. That'd be really dope.
Ronald Jones is back on the free agent market.
2-time Super Bowl champion. By the way, the first USC Spartan in NFL history to win a Super Bowl in the AFC and the NFC. Just a fun fact about Ronald Jones, who LaShawn McCoy'd his way to a Super Bowl title with the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Dude, he was like tweeting the first 2-3 weeks of the season, man, the grass is way greener on the other side. I can't wait to get a release. I'd love to get a release right about now.
And now he's got another Super Bowl ring.
And now he's, posting up about his legacy and all that shit. It's pretty funny.
What do you think about Sean Payton going to the Broncos?
I think it's interesting. I heard the rumors of Rex Ryan also kind of being tied to that.
Yeah, I saw that too. What, defense coordinator?
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine Sean Payton and Rex Ryan wrecking shop in the AFC West? I know that
with Russell Wilson.
I hate to say it was
what's your feelings on Russell Wilson here? They can't cut him. They can't cut him.
Well, no, they're not going to. I feel like Sean Payton can fix him. I feel like.
So you think Sean Payton is the quarterback guru?
I don't know about quarterback guru, but I think he can put his guys in the best position to win. He's always been able to do less with more. He was able to do it a lot in New Orleans because, let's face it, those years that they were winning games, like they had a well-rounded roster, but they were never looked at as a team that was like fucking stacked. You know what I mean? But they were always consistently winning 11, 12, 13 games a year with that internal core that they had. Denver obviously doesn't have a core like that, at least one that comes to mind, but they got pieces, they got playmakers.
And their defense is good. I mean,
and if you can get an offensive coordinator, I don't know if they have one right now, but if you can get an offensive coordinator and if you can get someone to build Russell Wilson's confidence back up and get him a little bit of help on the offensive side of the ball, they could potentially be a team that is, probably wins more games because of how they're coached than the talent they have. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think Rex Ryan, that's a perfect situation for him just to almost end his coach legacy, as you can call it. And it looks like Sean Payton will be the OC for the Broncos. But, I mean, the defense is good. So, I mean, realistically, he could go back in there and probably have a top 10 defense. And people are like, oh, yeah. And, the only thing you can think of is, well, Rex Ryan, he's a great defensive coach. You know what I mean? I can't see him being able to fuck up that so much. Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see a coach coming in besides Craig Schiano and just fucking up such a team so much. But, I mean, as a coordinator, I'm just letting them play. I mean, unless Rex Ryan is just such a dick and such a bad coach.
No, I think Rex Ryan's a good coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, maybe as a head coach, he's not the greatest.
As a head coach, he had his moments. You know what I mean? Like in New York.
When he got the Mark Sanchez tattoo?
In New York, they had that year they swept New England, if I'm not mistaken. And then they, had a couple of playoff runs. I think in Buffalo, they were okay.
Do you remember it?
It's like a tattoo of his wife wearing a Sanchez jersey.
Yeah. Right on his arm. Look at the dad bod on him.
That's wild. I mean, are you surprised? Honestly, he used to be pretty large and in charge, man.
I know, he lost a lot of weight.
He's on that Oclempic.
You think? No, he lost a little bit before that, but I mean, him and his brother too. His brother was a good coordinator.
Man, his brother was always so funny looking.
And yes, Jared, Rex Ryan does have the whitest teeth in history. Have you seen him on ESPN, Rhett?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a walking filter.
I mean, him
and his fucking foot fetish.
Would you take him? Would you take him as a coordinator for the Bucs?
As a coordinator in Tampa, Rex Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Who's the top offensive coordinators out there?
Eric Bieniemy's still available. I think he's interviewing with Washington. He's the Kansas City OC. The Eagles OC, what's his name? Steve something. He just got hired for the Indianapolis head coach job. That was a pretty good hire from what I understand.
Let's see, top offensive coordinators available 2023.
Jim Bob Cooter's always available too. Could put a little bit of Cooter in this offense here.
So you got Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator. Mike Kafka, Giants offense coordinator, and Luke. Oh yeah, fuck the Bears offense coordinator.
Go down to Pro Football Network. That second link down there.
Right here.
Yeah.
All right. I think you got.
Might give you a
that's
little
right.
more.
TV, isn't it? I was reading an article and you were kind of like reading it a little bit for me, and I'm like, what, right click on the same fucking article as me?
Just trying to look out for you.
No, I know you got the TV though. Let's see here. Kellen Moore. No, he was hired. Okay, this is the league.
Yeah, this is.
If I was Bubba right now,
he'd be fucking bringing me a new one.
fucking Brett, you send me shit that's fucking old. Now I'm fucking like dumb stupid shit.
I thought I was getting fired today.
Oh, this is from December 11, 2022, Brett. What the fuck? I need 2023. No.
I thought I was gonna get fired today for ruining Matt Hoxie's marriage.
Yeah, we'll take that fucking video. Don't take that
video
down right now. It's okay, but take that fucking video down.
Glad Hoxie came in and set the record straight. I thought it was going to be a long weekend.
Now I'm stuck on this fucking link. God damn it, Brett. That's what I was looking at. Here's the list. Here we go. Here's the list of NFL offense coordinators opening this season. Even though that
here's all the jobs that need to be filled. Here's none of the offensive coordinators. Here's just the openings that we have got, including.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. 813-90-BUBBA. 813-90-BUBBA. Yeah, you are correct. The Rams, I mean, no one gives a shit. I mean, offensive. You know who I'm surprised that hasn't been kind of linked for any type of jobs out there is
Byron Leftwich.
No. Oh, well, you know what?
I guess Notre Dame kind of fell through, huh? We didn't hear a whole lot about that.
Yeah, no, the former offensive I'm sorry, the former head coach, former defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raheem Morris.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a little more hype around him. I mean, obviously coming off the Super Bowl, but
you know what he's kind of like? He's like the Byron Leftwich. He didn't strike when it was hot.
You know, you want to talk about the NFL and just the way that the landscape constantly is changing. You know, it's a what have you done for me lately league, and a lot of these, hot coordinators, the new young guy that you want to bring in to kickstart your franchise, a year by year basis. 1 year he's the man, 1 year he's just not, and nobody wants to hire Byron Leftwich. Nobody wants to hire Raheem Morris. Seemingly, I haven't seen him interview for a lot of positions.
I think he's grown up. I think there's a lot of people. I mean, I remember when he coached here that said he was really immature, but he was really young. I think he was in his late 30s, early 40s then.
You're talking about Raheem?
Yeah. I think that gave him a really bad.
I mean, you apparently have more, insight to it than I do, being boys with Josh Freeman and all, but like I always felt like Raheem got a raw deal here in Tampa. I thought they kind of closed the door on that a little too early.
Well, that's because the whole team, they fell apart, and
he kind of lost the locker room.
Well, I don't know if he lost the locker room, but I think he was letting them do whatever the fuck they wanted. I mean,
guys were getting stabbed, and
I think that was under Greg. That was under Schiano. No, when Raheem, they said, like he would go out with the boys and drink. He would be at Burns a lot, just getting hammered.
Fuck's wrong with getting tore up on a Wednesday, man? We're all adults.
Oh, I know. I mean, look, there was a lot of times Kellen Winslow. My brother told me this one. 2001, on a Saturday night. I used to live down the street from 2001, and my brother walked to the.
Could you see the UFO from your place?
No, I was a little farther away. But that's when I was here, and we used to get free space bucks. So I gave a bunch to my brother, and he went down there and he said he saw Kellen Winslow walk in around 12:45, 12:30, 12:45.
What day of the week?
Saturday night.
Yeah, probably looking for grandmas to rape.
Well, and my brother goes, Bucks game tomorrow. What the fuck's going on? My brother stayed there till about closing. He said Kellen, he came out probably around 3:30, and we had a 1 o'clock game. So, I mean, that just speaks wonders right there of how he was running it. And that was, 10 years ago? Let's just say 2008. That was 15. So it looks like Raheem was like 31 then. 32. He was. I mean,
pretty young in the grand scheme of things, especially back in the day. You know what I mean? There weren't a lot of head coaches that were that young back in the day. Now it's more of a commonplace, but. 31 years old at that head coach position, that is pretty damn young.
And the Bucks looked like a big joke then too, because it was John Gruden was there.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin, was let go or retired, let go, whatever, to join his son, Lane Kiffin in Tennessee. Morris was being interviewed for the Bucks thing, so the Bucks hired him as their defensive coordinator. They fired John Gruden and put in Raheem, and the rest is history. But I'm just surprised that he hasn't got another shot. Maybe since he's only 41. Still 46. Sorry, he's 46.
He's obviously got some time. He could probably bounce around to a couple of other coordinator spots. Is he still in LA with Sean McVay?
Yes.
So if Sean McVay's coming back, he'll probably get another chance over there. Could have a better year next season.
Maybe it's another Gruden thing too.
Maybe
where Sean McVay retires, gets
a
maybe that's why he's not really interviewing, because you don't hear teams coming out and saying, "Hey, we're interviewing this guy." Maybe he's turning it down. Maybe the Rams have said, "You are going to be the next head coach."
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, there's more and more coaches now. You hear about, just with recent memory, Bruce Arians in Tampa, but you hear about succession plans and Sean McVay flirting already with the idea of broadcasting. Going into that field last season, he clarified he was going to come back, but you don't know what that's going to be like on a year basis. Know. They're going to ask him that question 2-3 times a year, and then in the final 2 weeks of the season, they're always going to drill him with, what's it going to look like next season, coach? Are you going to be back here? Until it's no longer a point of discussion. So who knows? You could be right.
And there's one in chat, Jack Mayoff. So he said, "What about Greg Roman?" I know Little Purple Jersey hates Greg Roman.
Well, if there's one thing he could probably do is get the most out of this run game, but
because Jack Mayoff said, "What about Greg Roman? He's always had success." And
I almost feel like he was being facetious when he typed that chat message, but
you never know. Look, let's go through his thing here. 813-90-BUBBA, 813-90-Bubba. You got Carolina Panthers 95 to 2001. The Texans, I think they made the playoffs then. Texans, Ravens, offensive line is Holy Spirit High School. Okay, all right. Maybe they had a really good year that year.
He had to come to Jesus year.
Stanford, associate head coach. 49ers, 2011 to 2014. I don't know. That's when they made it to the Super Bowl. Right? Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Buffalo Bills offense coordinator 15 to 16, and then Baltimore Ravens. Would you want to see him come to the Bucks?
He's obviously got the history, and then most recently, 2019, Lamar Jackson won MVP. He got assistant coach of the year that year. He has the ability when he has the talent. Another thing we talked about with this Baltimore team is that they just didn't have anybody. They didn't have anyone for Lamar. They didn't have any fucking consistent talent. They didn't have a consistent running back who could stay healthy. They didn't have receivers you could throw the ball to. So, if you give him a little more to work with and a questionable quarterback, maybe he can get your run game going a little bit. It'd be interesting to see his approach to, making the most out of what the Bucks have. But I don't know. It's just such a tough year, and going back to what I said, 5-10 minutes ago, it's such a year-to-year league that, he could get a job and be the best coordinator in the league in 2023, and then I could sound like a jackass, but I just don't know if that'll be the case.
And I've seen this too. I think I saw from a guy on Twitter, and I think you know who it is, but I don't remember his name, but he put out the thing, let's get Tony Dungy back as a coordinator.
What?
And
what are we doing?
And his
let's fucking bring in Terrell Owens as well.
Tony Dungy, he's a defensive mind. He's not going to come in back and coach the offense.
He's not going to come back and coach, period. He's
He's retired. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's on TV right now, but I'll be honest with you, with the way social media has been talking about
Tony. He is
Tony,
getting eaten up.
with the way social media has been talking about Tony Dungy lately, he'll be lucky if he's on TV for another 2 years.
Yeah, I know. Even though,
but I mean, as much as I love Tony Dungy, with all due respect, he is, salt of the earth as an individual. But maybe
great guy.
Maybe it is almost time to just kind of put Grandpappy in the closet there. And
no.
Can you Google how old he is? He's got to be over 80.
I want to
right?
guess. No, I'm going to guess he's 76. What do you think?
I'll say 81.
Tony Dungy is 67. Wow.
Oh, no
way
shit.
fucking off on that one.
I mean, I know they say black don't crack, but he
looks
old.
exactly the same as he's looked when he was. I mean, obviously a couple of wrinkles here and
Okay,
there.
but like go to that picture all the way on the left. Go up all the way to the left.
Right here?
Yeah. Make that one big. He looks like crap in that picture.
Yeah,
I know it's the lighting and everything.
That was not that's a
that's
2021.
yeah, he looks terrible.
I mean, but there he is right there with the Colts, and then with the Bucks, he looks exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Just lost a little bit of hair, but I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, man.
They say Eric Bieniemy, but what is it?
Yeah, you got it.
Bieniemy? Is it Bieniemy?
Bieniemy.
I guess. I mean, because one reason why he hasn't got a head coaching job is because he doesn't interview well.
That could be the case.
I mean, because I would love if he wanted to come to the Bucs, but I don't think he's going to jump ship as an offensive coordinator.
Well, and on top of that, excuse me. On top of that, he hasn't even interviewed with Tampa. They haven't really shown any interest. They had an opportunity.
Yeah, but why would he leave an offensive coordinator for the Chiefs and jump to another offensive coordinator job?
You wouldn't. Not if Andy Reid's sticking around. You're going to continue winning Super Bowls with Pat Mahomes. That makes it. I mean, that's the easiest job in the NFL right now.
See right here. Fox News. Eric Bieniemy, top candidate for assistant job as debate race. Okay.
Do you get your sports news from FoxNewsLive.com?
Listen, dickhead, I clicked on it. This is the earliest one. It came from 1151. I didn't go from a 2000. I bring 2022.
It's just the headline.
22.
Just the headline is it's just funny.
I know. Okay, listen. All right, my bad. I clicked on it. And what I saw was the newest one.
You don't have to apologize. You didn't do anything wrong, Lum.
Top can. See right here. This is what I do not understand. Maybe someone can explain. Rhett, maybe you can explain it to me. Yes. 813-90 Bubba 813-90 BUBBA. It says here, is reportedly Eric Bieniemy is reportedly a top candidate for the Washington Commanders offensive coordinator job.
Interviewed today.
Why?
Why for Washington?
Why wouldn't you stay with the Chiefs?
Money.
So you don't think the Chiefs will want to pay him?
Probably not.
He's the top candidate for the Commanders position. Unless
I have to imagine that if you are winning the Super Bowl and you're in a position like Kansas City, I don't know what their cap looks like, but you're probably going to have to do some moving around and some reallocating of talent and money with some new contracts coming up. I don't know what his asking price is.
But how long do you think Andy Reid will be there?
Probably like 3, 4, 5 more years. With Pat Mahomes playing the way that he is, I mean, he's in the prime of his career. This is as fresh as he's going to be.
So you think he's going to waddle to 4 years?
You talking about Bieniemy?
No, Andy Reid. You think he's going to waddle his way to 4 years?
Yeah.
Come on, you got the joke?
Yeah, I did.
You?
It took me a minute.
Come on!
It just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't connect. It didn't fucking.
I snuck that one in there.
I'm sorry. That's the funniest thing you said all day, Lummy. I'm sorry I didn't put it over, buddy. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Did you know who said about the waddle?
No.
You don't get the joke then. Terry Bradshaw, when he told him to come over and interview when he got the trophy.
Oh,
he said, Eddie Reid, come on, waddle on over here.
Did he fucking really?
You didn't get that?
No, I didn't connect the two. No, by that time, honestly.
God damn it, Reds.
Oh, come on. That was not an easy setup.
Yes, it was.
That was not
Andy Reid, come waddle over here.
Yes, I understand.
Andy Reid's going to waddle for 4 years.
I understood it because Andy Reid is fat and he waddles around.
Yes.
But I didn't understand it in the context that Terry Bradshaw said that on live TV after the Super Bowl.
I cannot. Come on. Hey, can you do your your Terry Bradshaw? No.
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh. I don't know if I can do Terry Bradshaw without sounding.
Come on, man. Hey, Andy Reid, come
Andy
on,
Reid, come on,
yourself over here,
man.
Yeah, let's see here. This is only 7 seconds. Are we good on YouTube if I play this?
He tells Andy Reid to waddle over here.
Can I play this? It's 7 seconds.
Yeah, you should be fine. If it's just audio, you're good.
Let me get the big guy in here. Come on, waddle over here.
I mean, come on. Hey, let me get the big guy over here. Come on, waddle.
It was a 1-2 punch. Like, he hit him with the little feign jab, and then he fucking got him with the uppercut.
Yeah.
He said, let's get the big guy in here.
Yeah, let me get the big guy.
Not only did you fucking hit him with one.
Come on, waddle over here.
What a son of a bitch.
Andy Reid, man, you just waddle over here. Let me talk about your career here. You just waddle yourself over here, baby boy.
Did you see what Chris Berman said on the pregame thing that he got tore apart for?
No.
So they were showing what was the Super Bowl? It was February 12th, right?
Yeah.
They were showing a package, and Chris Berman had kind of talked beforehand, and he goes, he says something about, well, this Super Bowl is actually the first time in NFL history that 2 black quarterbacks have started against each other in the illustrious, the history of the NFL, whatever the fuck. And then he goes, so we talked about the process and what it took for us to get here.
Was it the ties Abraham?
And then he goes, ironically, February 12th, Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And everybody flipped the fuck out because he started making the connection that because Abraham Lincoln, proposed the Emancipation Proclamation, we now have 2 black quarterbacks play each other in the Super Bowl. Well, it was just, it was kind of a reach.
He got a lot of shit on that.
It was kind of a reach on his end. It was kind of a cheesy TV talking point, but yeah, he got tore apart. Chris Berman said, "What about the black quarterbacks?" If you go back on YouTube, you might be able to find it.
Oh, I gotta go on YouTube.
That seems like the best place to find the clips because whenever you go to these articles, they either don't load or they redirect you to some bullshit that we're not looking for.
Right here. Right here.
This weird new tool is quickly becoming the most.
Oh, we got a pre-roll, Willie. Would you look at that?
We got it. What?
Wow.
Hold on. I can skip the ad here.
Wow.
Here we go.
The number 1 seeds. These teams are 16-3. We had the Kelsey brothers. We had so much. We had Andy Reid.
I don't think this is
Philadelphia, his old team.
Maybe it is.
Go on and on and on.
Here we go.
I can do some do-do-dos.
Here it is.
So, of course,
here it is.
2 African-American quarterbacks starting against each other in the Super Bowl for the first time. Fittingly, February 12th is Abe Lincoln's birthday. Here we go with the highlights and.
Wow, where we go? I did some do-do-dos here, and I'm gonna say Abraham Lincoln's birthday with American quarterbacks. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because before he said it, you could tell he thought about it. He took a second and he's like, I don't know if I should say this, but
it's like, yeah, but I'm so rich and I'm already pretty much only doing one thing a year, pretty much.
I know, right? This is his only on-location deal. The rest of it he just filmed.
I mean, look at him.
Him and Booger McFarland do the weekend wrap-up.
Poor Booger. I mean, going from...
Fuck Booger, dude. He ruined Monday Night Football for the longest time. The least he can do is sit next to Chris Berman.
Going from 10 to... Was Berman... Was Booger...
Yeah, it's Booger right there.
Oh, shit. I didn't know Booger. I didn't see Booger.
You said poor Booger. I thought that's what you were
because he got fired.
To.
He got the raw deal. I mean, remember, he was a big-time deal on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, well, now he's working Super Bowl coverage with Boomer and...
Steve Young.
Oh, okay.
Former Buccaneer quarterback.
Couple of Buccaneer
Young.
legends and Chris Berman, man.
And Chris Berman loves the Tampa area.
Sure does.
He used to do a game show back in the 80s over in Lakeland at Baseball City. Did you know that?
I did not. I do now, though.
Do you know anything about Baseball City?
No.
So in Lakeland, was it Lakeland? No, it was past Lakeland. Fuck, what was it?
Lake Wales.
It was that exit before you get to like Celebration.
So like Champions Gate.
It was before that. There's an exit right there, and Kansas City Royals. Yeah, Boardwalk and Baseball. Thank you. Eat more coleslaw. Boardwalk and Baseball, and the Royals built a spring training facility there, and they built this whole like theme park around it.
Yeah.
And ESPN would do a sports show out of there back in the day.
You know what? I think I've seen like highlights of it.
Yeah, it's
from
like
old shit.
Yeah,
because it was on location and they had the backdrop and everything, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I remember we took my parents, my dad said we were going to go to, because they had like a museum too. And we showed up to the hotel my dad rented. This is back in probably the early 90s. And we get to the hotel room and they closed Boardwalk and Baseball down like 3 days before that.
Like forever?
Forever.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you could see it.
Oh, we saw it. We couldn't go in it. It was.
Should have had a Chevy Chase vacation moment there.
I think my dad did.
Sorry, folks, park's closed.
It pretty much was that.
Should have told you.
We sat in the car and my dad went into the hotel. We were checking in because they had a hotel that was adjacent. See the picture here?
Yeah.
So we parked. There was a hotel right here, and they had like all this like the little balloon, like all this like theme park kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you walk through it, and then you get to the baseball. So we were gonna go and watch and go to this whole theme park, and there's a museum. Well, we got to the hotel, and they're like, "Well, just to let you know, you guys can stay here, but this is all closed now." Dude. So the whole park was closed. My dad, I think he lost his mind.
Oh,
and we
you
drove
guys were just cooped up.
And we drove home, and I think at that time, my mom had an 88, 89.
How long of a drive?
Thunderbird, about 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay, so not
wasn't horrible, but we
but
packed everything, and
I had a fun family vacation experience when I was a kid. I was in 3rd grade. I was 8. And every 4th of July, we would go up to Daytona. We would go. Are you familiar with Sun Viking up there?
No, but I mean,
they were touted as the only hotel on the waterfront who had a water slide. So,
I think I stayed at that place. I think my aunt touted us with that too.
Probably.
There was it was like just a little small turn one, right?
Yeah. It was like you had to take some stairs to get up to the top, and it was like built into the rocks and shit.
Yeah, it was built into the rocks.
Look
and
up
it was
Sun
kind
Viking in Daytona.
Yeah,
You'll find it.
I think I stayed there because I remember it was like, and then it was literally it just went down a little bit and then turned into the pool.
Yeah, and we used to go there every year. So I used to always look forward to it. In 3rd grade,
I actually this is the place.
It was the week before 4th of July break. I was having the shittiest week of all time. I had my fucking bike stolen from school. Someone walked up to the bike rack, which was right next to the front office, and they stole my bike as a kid. I was so bummed, so I just started walking to school instead of riding my bike, and it sucked. I just had a terrible week. I remember I was so upset, and we finally made it to Sun Viking, and it just rained for the 4 days that we were there. It just fucking stormed, and it did not stop. It didn't even clear up enough to where they were letting people swim in the pools. I was pretty tore up over that, man.
I remember this place, yeah, because you could see the little shitty. I was talking about, it was a straight, and then it just took a right turn right here.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah,
that's literally taken from the top of the slide. But that slide's gone. You remember when the water came up in Daytona last year? It took out pretty much that whole pool, all the slide. It's all gone.
Daytona. Well, I went to my first. You ever been to a Daytona 5? I went to the Pepsi 400.
I never have been. I would love to do that. I'm a casual NASCAR fan. I still follow it here and there, but I would love to go to a race live.
I was a huge NASCAR fan when I was a kid, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. My aunt took me to the Pepsi 400.
It's the night before.
We went the whole week, and we did the autograph session.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite driver at the time was Bill Elliott.
Fuck yeah, I was a Bill Elliott fan too. I had a big Bill Elliott metal cutout in my bedroom as a kid.
Yeah, I still have some of my memorabilia, but I was because my aunt loved my uncle loved Ford, so I was a Ford guy. Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace.
So yeah, we were a Morgan Mopar
Shepherd.
Family. We were a Mopar family. That's why I had the number 9.
Ernie Irvin.
Dodge.
Yeah, Bill Elliott, Bud Light.
Dude. Yeah.
I got his autograph.
Fucking Bobby Labonte, Terry Labonte.
That's right. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. That's right.
Dale Jarrett.
I was
88 UPS car.
I know, but I'm thinking of when I was.
When you were a kid, yeah.
He was there.
He was probably fresh.
He was fresh, and I know he took over. I think
the Wall Trips.
Yeah, I didn't like Michael Waltrip. My aunt hated Darrell Waltrip, so I didn't like Darrell Waltrip.
Yeah.
Or Michael Waltrip.
Austin Petty wasn't racing until mid-90s, late 90s?
Yeah.
Then he fucking died.
Yeah, he hit the wall in New Hampshire. But no,
terrible tragedy.
If you remember Daytona, I remember when I went there the first time, they had like go-karts on top of hotel rooms or hotels.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to the rooftop?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was like the Speedway Hotel or whatever.
Yeah, and you just go up there and they would just let people just like wreck into each other. And they had the big boardwalk along Daytona Beach, which I think is pretty much gone now.
The boardwalk is still there. You're talking about the one with the 2 arcades, right?
Yeah, there used to be a shit ton of arcades there.
There's only 2 now, and they used to have the go-karts in the middle where the slingshot was, but they gutted all that.
Of course they did.
They put new rides in there, like they put an updated slingshot, and they put another thrill ride.
It's not that I would go to that anyhow, because we already saw what happens at the fair.
Man, I mean, you know what, as trashy as it is, like, I will always have a soft spot for Daytona.
Haines City.
We used to go every year. And it's just like, if I'm ever looking for a cheap little weekend vacation, fuck it. This weekend, I could leave work today and drive to Daytona and have a nice little.
And get a little hotel room over there?
Yeah, bro. Why not?
Would you go to the Sun Viking?
Not without the water slide.
Oh, well, fuck them then.
I just get a cheaper room. I just find something because you were looking at the fares on Sun Viking and I was looking at. $115 a night, and for fucking no water slide, it seems a little stiff, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably go to La Quinta next to a Waffle House.
I could find a La Quinta. I could find
IHOP, I should say.
There's actually an IHOP right across the street from Sun Viking. It's right next to a strip club called Biggins, Biggins.
Oh, that's why you like going over there.
Yeah, buddy, I love me some Biggins.
Have you been into that strip club?
I plead the fifth.
That means yes. Is there a cover charge?
This is a sports show, buddy.
I'm just asking about your experience going to Daytona this weekend.
I don't know. You're trying to go to Daytona
wait, hold on.
Find out?
Actually, you know what? This weekend might not be Isn't it the Daytona 500?
Oh, shit, you are right. That would be a fun way. That might be. Holy shit, I might look at prices for.
I was going to say, that might be really expensive, though.
Let me see. I bet you SeatGeek has tickets to the Daytona 500, does it not?
Yeah, why
Go
wouldn't
on, type in SeatGeek on your end. It's just easier on your end.
Oh, okay. Let's take this call while I type this in. 704, I believe I know who this is. 704. I can let this guy drone on.
Daytona's such a shithole.
Okay.
Dude, but I love it. I mean, that's my favorite part about it.
You got to go to Daytona after the race.
You ever fucking been anywhere else in Florida? Like, I mean, part of the fun is embracing.
Do you know who this is? I mean, this is the great Hinstar. So.
Oh, of course. The fantasy champion, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I came in second.
Oh,
fucking loser.
Yeah, second place is the first loser, man.
Well, what do you have to say there, Hinstar?
There's no trophy for second place, buddy.
No, there isn't. Nope, there is no trophy for second place. But it was a good league. It was fun.
Yeah, and Rhett, listen, someone like Hinstar, which I mean, NASCAR is totally different than how it used to be. But Hinstar is not the type of guy that you would see at a NASCAR race.
No, actually, I go and the only reason
I go
why
to Charlotte.
because,
Great. I take all my crickets to Charlotte. Show them my bands, man.
I've been to Daytona twice. I've been to Daytona 500 twice.
Yeah,
Man,
sure,
those tickets are expensive.
Oh, that's
And
parking, by
I
the
know
way.
nothing about NASCAR. I just know everyone hates Kyle Busch, so I just wear Kyle Busch stuff.
Of course.
Kyle Busch is obviously an enigma in himself. But honestly, the driver that I hate the most is Joey Logano. I fucking hate Logano.
Yeah,
Why? He's
a lot of
from
people hate
Connecticut.
Logano.
He's a wicked good guy.
He sucks, dude. He
A
sucks.
lot
He
of
literally
people hate
came
him.
out last week and he said something. Some other driver basically called him chicken shit, and he's like, when I'm driving, am I gonna do whatever it takes to win? Yes, I am. He's like, does that make me chicken shit? Yes, it does. And it's like, what?
Well, Rhett, good news. For one ticket, that's all there's available on SeatGeek. $626. Section 360, row 16.
Fuck yeah.
You could. Why don't you just go to Bubba Raceway and pull up a camper and then just watch it on TV?
That's what I say, man. I mean, that's real racing,
that's the way
right?
to
Right,
go.
especially, dude. I
Right,
wouldn't
you should
mind
come
going
out.
on
We're all going to go up there.
Friday or Saturday.
Well, what day? I'll probably. I think we're going. I think we're going up Friday.
What day are y'all going? I'll meet you there.
I think Friday.
Let me know for
And
sure.
Blitz will be up there.
Yeah, let me know for sure, and I'll come out. That'd be cool.
Right,
What
you better
hotels
stop
are around-
recording.
What hotels are around the Bubba Raceway? Like
A lot of them. A lot of them in Ocala.
Yeah, a lot of
The-
very prestigious places.
Yeah, the La Quinta, the Hampton Inn. They have a Hilton. They have a
they hide
Holiday
the
Inn
drugs
Express.
in the wall.
By the way, I don't know if you know this, Mr. Fancy Pants, but Ocala, which I don't live there, obviously, but Ocala is the horse capital of the world.
Well, I thought it would be the cow capital of the world.
No, it's a horse capital. A lot of horse racing, which you got to have a lot of money for horse racing, is right out of Ocala.
Well, that's impressive.
So you can take your little opinion from your little hierarch up in North Carolina and shove it straight up your candy ass there, kid.
So what are the Bucks doing for quarterback?
Jimmy G, Derek Carr, or Gardner Minshew?
I think the Panthers are going to go after Derek Carr. I have a feeling.
I think the Panthers and the Saints
and I put a dark match, Sam Darnold in there.
I think the Panthers and the Saints are both much more well-equipped to go after a big-name quarterback than the Bucks are. But I think more than likely it's just going to be a familiar veteran quarterback for the Bucks. It's going to be probably a combination of that and maybe Kyle Trask at some point this season, but hopefully they can sign a guy that's good enough to start, all 17 games and not really have to worry about it. But, I mean, it's going to be a floor of like 4 wins and maybe a ceiling of 8 or 9.
Yeah.
That division really is wide open going into next year, so it's all about the free agent signings, it looks like. I'm not really thrilled with the coach we hired either.
It's whoever wins the quarterback competition. You know what I mean? That seems like what it comes down to. Like, I know that Reich is the guy in Carolina, so he could obviously shit the bed like he did in Indy, but I just think that, between Atlanta, who could also, they got a lot of fucking money. So between Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina, and Tampa, whoever comes away with the best quarterback is probably going to have the best shot at actually winning that division.
That is true. I think that we have the best defense.
No, I think the Bucks have the best defense, honestly. I know that they're a little bit older, but they still got a lot of good young guys who are going to be back next year.
Yeah.
Hey, Lummy, would you be taking Walker to the racetrack?
Yes, we are. We took him last year.
Do you like it?
Yeah. We didn't stay for the whole race because it was a little delayed and it was loud and we had to get home. But, from what he saw, he liked it. Oh, there you go, Red. Look at this.
They said Friday it might rain, by the way.
Sunday, Red. Here we go, 400 level.
Yeah,
198.
Up in the fucking nosebleeds.
All right, 175, 202. That's actually not too bad right there.
Mm-mm.
See that?
Yeah.
Row 32. So you'll be up there.
We probably don't have any more NASCAR friends that could just hook me up with an infield ticket, huh? I probably won't be able to bring my joints and my beers and stuff up in the bleachers there.
Where's Babyface today?
He has a
cold. Tummy ache.
He sniffling away right now.
He hasn't come down from that Rihanna halftime show yet.
He hasn't come down from picking the Eagles and locking in the Eagles and saying how great. And I believe one of the great callers from 239 says he's a Philly mark?
Oh, he loves Philly. He's got that bro love.
He's got the bro love.
Hey, I'll tell you though,
that call was BS.
I do get the feeling that Brian would have come in here and said, that was the greatest halftime performance I've ever seen.
Oh, 100%.
Does that not sound like something Brian would come in here and say?
He would mark out to it.
Him and his family probably had matching Rihanna shirts on at halftime.
And the fact that she was 4 to 5 months pregnant, Lummy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You don't know. You could not do that if you were 4 to 5 months pregnant, okay?
Countless OSHA violations.
That is like a stripper in Ocala. 4 or 5 months pregnant, stripping.
I don't think you've ever been to Ocala. It's actually not a place that you're thinking of. You're thinking of Moon Lake around Pasco, Hernando County. Ocala is actually a very wealthy area.
Thinking of Lake Wales, buddy, out there in Frostproof.
Yes.
That's where the cricks are at.
Bartow, Lake Wales, Fort Meade.
That's where you get lost.
Yeah.
That's where you fuck around and get lost.
You can show me around, buddy.
Take a wrong turn.
Ocala is like an hour and a half away, so it's not any place I venture up to. If you want me to show you some crazy little tiny towns, we can go to North Florida. Middle of the state.
I have North Fort Myers when I go down there. That's good enough.
If you're in Ocala, depending on where you're driving from, I assume Carolina, you probably got time to stop at St. Augustine on the way back.
Oh, yeah. St. Augustine isn't bad.
Yeah, I got 3 cooks there. Wow. I'm Hinstar. I got 3 cooks in every city I go to. I got 3 in North Fort Myers, Sarasota, Bradenton. I take the whole road trip up.
North Fort Myers women. There's no way. Ugh. Can't do that.
Oh, sorry, Hinstar.
Yeah. North Fort Myers women. You met one, you met them all.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you met one Hinstar, you met them all.
Kids by the time they're 23.
North Fort Myers. All right, man. Well, any sports?
Yeah,
you wanted to talk about
it's
today?
okay. Hinstar's got to go. He's got to go pick up his next crick down the
man.
street in North Carolina.
Lake Wales, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, hit up
Lake
Lake Wales.
Check it out.
For a while there was the herpes capital of
I'll
the
bring
country.
some meth, some Mountain Dew. Will be good.
Yeah, exactly. Hinstar, you're the man.
Appreciate it. Bye.
See ya.
Get you a farm fed bitch.
Yeah, go party at the Walmart down the street in Lake Wales. If you go to school
yeah,
there.
on Friday nights we all go hang out at the Walmart.
And then you load up that weekend. You load up all your personal items that you brought to the school that you made
behind.
a mistake, and you leave in the
middle of the night, and you never return. You never tell anybody about it.
Yeah, when you got multiple people watching you load up, and you're like, "Oh, I'm just going home for the day. I'll be back."
Bro, you know what you see a lot of in Daytona though?
What? What? Hookers?
It's such an open-ended question. I know. What
hookers?
Possibly could I say?
Hookers?
I was gonna say MILFs, man. I mean, I know it's like the family vacation capital of Florida, outside of Disney
Is it now?
World. Dude.
Daytona Beach is the family capital of vacationing?
No, it's not. But as far as like lower middle class, a lot of hot moms in the lower middle class. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying, Rhett. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Buddy.
Well, I'm not being a dick. I mean, I'm just saying I don't know.
That's all right.
760. Everyone's equal.
Hey, what's up, boys?
How's it going?
What's up, man?
Hey, this is Big Mike, FT, California. Hey,
what's up, Big Mike?
I wanted to just make a little point. It's probably meaningless to everybody else, but the Eagles are never going to win anything serious when they have those garbage Eagle fans. When they booed Dak Prescott the other day, I thought, man, the Walter Payton Award, that's like the most prestigious thing you could do aside from, winning the Super Bowl. And when I heard that boo, I thought, man, how classless a fan base is this?
Well, the other players up there were thinking it too, because you could see the looks on their faces when they were, showing it. They were shaking their heads, and I mean, like Dak kind of laughed it off, but yeah, it did seem a little harsh because it was an overwhelming majority of the stadium that was booing the shit out of the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
And that sucked too. And look, I will admit, I'm a Cowboys fan since childhood. I've had my heart broke for the last 20-something years, and whatever. You stay a fan of a team, and you maintain, maintain the fan of that particular team. And Dak isn't what you would call a, top-level quarterback. He's okay. But, man, to boo the guy during that thing, look, Dak pretty much owns the Eagles as far as statistics go.
The problem is with the Eagle fans, I think, now I don't know this to be a fact, but I feel like their reputation now is that everyone growing up in Philadelphia that's an Eagle fan now, they have to try to live up to that reputation that they're just dicks.
Just being a shit.
They just have to. It's like, well, this is what everyone thinks of us, so we might as well keep it up, and we might as well make it worse than possible. Oh, because everyone's like, they threw, batteries, snowballs at Santa Claus. Like, they love that shit. You can just tell. They're like, yeah, that was us, buddy. That was us. Because you don't hear any like, well, the Bucs fans are just complete assholes or anything like that. But I feel like they take pride in it. Like, let's see if we could do worse. Like, right now we're talking about it as the Eagle fans booed. Oh, yeah, that's another little star on their jacket. We're going to be in history. We booed the Walter Payton guy, the guy that gave something back to his community. We're going to boo him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they just keep it going, which makes them even more dicks.
So for the Eagles, you're saying, a lot of their fans look at it not so much as, they're just bad people. It's more of a heritage over hate kind of thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Especially with the Cowboys. It's a big thing of it, and I agree with exactly what you just said. However, it was a member of the Cowboys team, which there's no love lost there for sure, but it just shows the level of class that, like, I have to say I don't really know a lot about Bucs fans. But I'll tell you what, I've never heard any other NFL team throughout the league that has shown the level of is disclass even a word? That
classlessness.
Disrespect.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Better word.
Has there ever been a bunch of bigger, has there ever been a bigger group of fucks than the ones that root for Philly football is what you're trying to say?
Yes, pretty much. And look, like I said, there's no love lost there, but come on. At some point, karma has got to come back around and bite you in the ass every time. And it sure showed it. Karma showed her face the other day during the Super Bowl with that that penalty call, that defensive holding or whatever it was. Towards the end of the game.
I think another thing that didn't really help Philly this year, as far as the case of their public image. I know to a certain degree these NFL teams don't really care what the public thinks of them, but having a head coach like Sirianni, as good of a coach as he has been for Philly this year, he was one cocky son of a bitch, and he's looking at the camera before commercial breaks, he's nodding his head, jumping up on the bench and waving to the fans who are leaving. Like, you can be a player's coach and you can do all this stuff, but you're also going to open yourself up far more to criticism and stuff like that. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's what they are. But, Lummy, I do have one question for you. I was a younger kid, so I wasn't really going to Bucs games like that. But I felt like growing up, I heard a lot more about stuff getting a little hairy at Bucs games every now and again. Did there used to be a little more of a reputation of people drinking too much? Yeah, that's because
the opposing teams would always come in and talk shit and then fight. And finally, when the Bucs started getting good, fans started getting cocky. And then the fans, they
stayed cocky for a little too long.
Well, and then they turned it around.
Absolutely.
They turned it around. So when the Bears and shit come in.
Be cocky, talk shit, talk smack, whatever you want to do. But at some point throughout, and the teams obviously have to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to show a little bit of class. I mean, as a human being, show just a little bit of class. That's not much.
Just a little bit.
Talk smack. Make your point across.
Yep, just a little bit, though.
Just have a little bit of class.
I thought Sirianni more than made up for it, though, by crying his fucking eyes out during Chris Stapleton's Super Bowl performance.
I almost started crying my damn self just seeing how emotional, and you could tell it wasn't fake. Like, that was for real, legitimate feelings that
he was
during that wonderful rendition of the national anthem.
One of my favorite things that I heard on the pregame stuff, because on the day of the Super Bowl, it's like 12 hours of pregame coverage. And during the day, I had a lot of background noise on. But one of the things that they had said about Sirianni, I guess at the media day, he had said that he's been listening to Whitney Houston's national anthem performance in Tampa Bay from all those years ago. What was that, 1992, I think?
No, 91.
91.
All four.
He said that it made him emotional. It got him all choked up whenever he'd watch it. It would give him chills, and it would remind him,
Didn't help him coach better because the Eagles fucking lost to the Chiefs.
And he still cried on national television.
Yeah,
so
you
know what? I mean,
he's going to be crying for the whole off season because the Chiefs beat their ass down. But thank you, West Coast.
Absolutely.
We're going to be wrapping it up here. I appreciate the call.
Have a great show. Love you
Keep
guys.
it between the lines. Rhett.
Lummy?
Always a pleasure.
Thanks, buddy. Good talking ball with you today, as always.
Of course.
So it's Wednesday. Are you going to go get tore up? Or you got stuff to do, right? You got responsibilities?
Yeah, I got responsibilities, and we got to go pick my truck up, too. Hopefully Rick has it done.
Hopefully I can drive.
I fucking forgot you. Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I know, you're fine. You only had one soda pop. It's fine. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Lummy Sports Show with Rhett minus Babyface, who is out with a couple sniffles and runny nose. Appreciate everybody. Don't forget, we're off tomorrow and Friday. We have best ofs going on. Check it out. Come to our YouTube. Rhett will be posting a lot of good stuff over the break.
Yeah, on Friday in particular, 6 a.m., I'm going to schedule a live premiere. It'll be a replay of today's Bubba show, but we don't post the full shows on YouTube every now and again. So if you never really get the chance to wake up with us on Twitch, do it with us on YouTube Friday, 6 to 10 a.m., the Bubba the Love Sponge show. Again, it'll be today's show, the Friday edition of the show, but I thought it was a pretty strong show today.
There you go. So check it out. Don't forget all your Bubba Army merchandise. Go to Bubba Army store, Bubba Army shop, BubbaArmyMerch.com. Get it before it's gone. Thank you, everyone. Have a great the rest of your week and a great weekend. We'll be back Monday, 6 a.m. Twitch.tv/TheBubbaArmy. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. See you later.